بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
In the name of Allah, the Compassionate, the Merciful. Reflection: the burning thirst for truth, the illness of doubt, and the first drops of light. When the light of the Imam of the time shone on my soul, even though I, who was the dark night of negligence and ignorance before this, became the bright sun because of this light. Since the supreme name of God is the Imam of the time, therefore, because of his spiritual power, I flew and reached the heaven of spirituality, like Venus. When the light of the Imam of the time shone on my soul, esoteric meaning. Sayyidna Nasir Khusraw, an Ismaili, was driven by a deep and painful thirst for truth. In his earlier years, he was not satisfied with what the world had to offer him. He had searched far and wide, yet the more he learned outwardly, the more his soul ached within. At last, he reached the city of knowledge and stood before an esteemed teacher, confessing that he was sick inside from the lack of knowledge and the torment of unanswered questions. This moment marked the beginning of his healing. In that sacred space, his thirst was quenched. His soul began to shed the weight of doubt and ignorance, and his heart became sincere and open, ready to receive the hidden light, first in the form of the knowledge of certainty, Quran 102:5. It was here that he truly came to understand the verse of light, in which God is described as the light of the heavens and the earth, 24:35. The hand of God and the secret of light, Bayah, intellect, and the sunnat of God. Within his heart stirred a yearning to give Bayah on the hand of God. That is the Imam of the time as described in the Quran 48:10. This Bayah was not through ignorance, as when the parents take their child to perform the ceremony in the house of God. It was with full knowledge, recognizing the position of the holder of authority. Some may call this shirk, but the wise will reflect, God, in his essence, is far beyond body, form, or likeness. He is free from organs and limbs. Yet by appointing the Prophet and the Imam as his vicegerents, he declares about them, my light, my soul, my face, and my hand. This sunnat, law of God, has continued forever. Quran 28:88, 55, 27. Thus, God's transcendent light becomes manifest in their luminous souls. Sayyidna Nasir Khusraw realized that true faith cannot remain fixed or merely physical. Many become content with outer forms, but this is against the law of nature. Faith, being dynamic, must ascend to the level of intellect, for it is intellect that separates human beings from animals. He saw that the key to real happiness is personal search, not blind imitation. The locus of divinity, the recognition, Marifah, that transforms. Through this search, Sayyidna Nasir Khusraw understood that the essence of faith is Marifah, the recognition of the Imam, not recognition at the level of name, body, or even guidance alone, but recognition at the level of divinity. Divinity is the station where spiritual travelers are annihilated in the essence of God, the place of true unity, where the light of God and the light of the Imam are not separate but united. This is monorealism. He remembered the Quranic verse of truth. All things we have encompassed in the Imam-e Mubin, Manifest Imam, 36:12. Here lies the hidden treasure spoken of. I was a hidden treasure, and I desired to be known. In the Imam of the time are all the treasures of God. The command be, Kuin, the universal intellect, the universal soul, the Holy Spirit, the single soul, the higher I and the lower I, and much more. In short, everything spiritual and intellectual is manifest in the Imam. It was here that Sayyidna Nasir Khusraw found the light he had searched for so long, the love of light and the fire of light, which had always been within him. And so it is within every true believer waiting to awaken. As he said, "When the light of the Imam of the time shone on my soul, I who was the dark night of ignorance became the bright sun." Since the supreme name of God is the Imam of the time, by his power, I rose to the heaven of spirituality, like Venus. What we have learnt, returning within to prepare for the hereafter. Sayyidna Nasir Khusraw's journey teaches us that faith is not a garment we wear, but a light we must awaken within. Ritual alone is like a body without a soul. Faith matures when the intellect bows before divine light, when knowledge becomes recognition, and recognition becomes love. The soul must be cleansed of doubt, made sincere, and open to receive the hidden light. This is how one prepares for the hereafter, by recognizing the living light of guidance that God has placed among humankind. Only then can the soul become truly alive, a sun among the stars. This is how faith becomes real, not borrowed from others, not inherited through custom, but awakened by living light. We do not all need to wait for dreams, for the Imam's universal guidance is ever present even now. Faith that remains only outer becomes stagnant, but faith illuminated by the light of Marifah, recognition, becomes alive and ascending. As Sayyidna Nasir Khusraw's soul testified, only when the soul recognizes the Imam with the knowledge of certainty, ilmu'l-yaqeen, can it receive the vision of light. This is the call for every seeker to pass from shadow to light, from form to essence, from belief to certainty, until the soul is lifted to its heavenly home. The thirst for truth is never quenched by shadows, only by the light that awakens the soul. Subscribe and click the bell icon to continue this journey. New series, The Prayer and Blessings of the Imam of the Time, Part 1.